March 22nd, 2023. How's it going, guys? Got another video for you. This is my street over here. It's a little bit foggy this morning. And what we're going to talk about is crime here in Kansas City. So hold on, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. And since March 17th, we've had on one of the homicide trackers here, KSHB, is showing that we have had since March 17th 43 homicides. Now we're just into March 22nd, and we probably already had another one since then, I would imagine. That's about what? Close to about one every other day. Pretty bad, guys. There's several things that was listed on YouTube yesterday I want to talk about crime here in Kansas City and Independence. And one thing was that Independence, they've had an upbeat of Suzuki's, I think they said Hondas, I think, being stolen. I mean, it was like a massive amount, like 132 or 134 or something. I mean, I don't know, that's unbelievable. But let's talk about that for a second. If you steal that many vehicles, who has the means to... Now, some people might just steal them to try to drive them around. But somebody might be chopping them up. You know, these places over the last couple years that I've pointed out, I've even talked to some people out there in Independence at the courthouse, even in the codes division, about some of these houses here where they were actually even chopping the cars up. And nobody really seems to care. You know, they always say, oh, you know, go buy a club. Well, club ain't going, well, what's club going to do? Well, you can break it. You can break a steering column. They were showing a mechanic here in Independence that he put 3 in, I think he said, in the last week. You know. Only thing that's going to prevent this is to put some of these people in jail, to put them away, to get out there and stop them. And anything else just ain't going to get it. Now, to the average half-potted out meth head, yeah, it might stop. The club might stop them. But the ones that have actually bolt cutters, actually have a grinder that they actually could go in there and cut through it. I mean, they can just cut through even the steering column. You don't have to cut that off. They were showing one last night. You could just plug it basically into the seat belt, and you had to have a key to unlock it. But what's that do? And what they're willing to do is to bust actually any of that part of that up to get in there to get the vehicles. My other concern here is about all these cars. You know, in the last several years here, all these car places. Now, there's two things. We all know, does everybody remember about DeLorean? Now, he beat the rap. He had enough lawyers to do it. But, you know, he was moving cocaine, but the charges were never completely gone through the FBI and stuff. But we'll go from there. But when you're moving all these vehicles, I mean, we got massive car lots piled with cars upon cars. They went out and bought up all the old cars from people, so then you have to go to their car lots for one thing, okay? So they control the narrative. Nobody's ever thought about this, and I've talked about this before. But like, we'll take up in Raytown, for example, up by that McDonald's. There's where there used to be, I think it used to be like a Firestone or Goodyear or something like that. I mean, they got probably 80 cars piled in there. Now, what are they going to do with all those cars, for one thing? But what are they doing with those cars? We got a place out here across from where Tool Shed is, by Doc Holliday's out there, right across from Doc Holliday's. And I've actually tracked some of the other stuff that goes on here on 47th Street back to that. Some of the boomers even. So I don't know. I mean, but if you're wanting to strip vehicles down, sell them for parts, the average Joe Blow ain't going to be able to just do that. They need to be looking at these businesses, going in, knocking on doors, looking at some of this stuff. Are they? I doubt it. But that is another issue in itself. I've passed, oh my God, we still got a big tag problem here too, guys. And then these ones that have these Texas tags. Well, you know what it looks like to me? It looks like some of these people somebody got a whole bunch of old Texas tags because, see, they have no date on them. They have no expiration date on them, which is the most stupidest thing I can't even imagine. Because then they can't be tracked, can they? I mean, it doesn't, how do you know? How do you know when they're expired? Shoot, there's one up there at the top of the hill of me up here with I call the old bong house. There's one up there. It still looks like they sprayed spray paint over where it's in Texas almost on it. Well, isn't that interesting? That's where, that's where they were falling down and people were laying across the street in the grass and stuff. Interesting. What's being done about it? Oh, no. And then it's just a vicious cycle. It just keeps on going. But this morning, people are also, what am I looking to say? Most people get routines. Me, I always like to change it up. I don't stay in the same routine all the time. It's not a good idea to do that. But this morning I had somebody coming down the street. Looked kind of strange. But, we have a lot of different, weird stuff go on. Like people have high, slamming their heads into the street out here and stuff. Doing those other things and stuff. Not good. But, okay, let's also go with these cars if you're selling them for scrap. Now, unless the junkyards or the metal scrap places, I should say the metal scrap places are dirty, that's the only place that you would have an option to make money off that if you stole those vehicles, and they would have to be dirty. See, what I wonder about, just like this, these salvage yards are supposed to have a title to every one of these vehicles. If Kansas City went in and they had an inspector come in and they went through all these places here and started checking to see if they had all these titles, do they? I bet you up there in Raytown, where, like I say, there's probably, 80 cars, 50 cars. I mean, the whole lot's full. They got a wood fence around it, but it's all full. I bet half those cars sitting there don't have titles to them. And I bet they own those vehicles. I bet. Because not all these are all being worked on. So, what do? I mean, wasn't those laws supposed to be enforced for that? Now, this is just about talking about, stealing cars and stuff and doing stuff like that. But also, they do a lot of drug trafficking. What better way to traffic drugs than transporting cars across state lines? Are they checking those vehicles? Are they checking those? Oh, I bet they're not. Now, come on, people. Let's think. I mean, they used to. It's funny. Way far back, when I was about 16 years old, I got in a wreck. Actually, a guy come out of Southern Lumber Company up here. And he was in a 69 Chevelle, and I had a 75 customized black Camaro. And he T-boned me up here. He was coming out of Southern Lumber Company. He must have been doing, I don't know, good 60 or 70 miles an hour when he T-boned me up here. But we tried to straighten the frame on the vehicle and stuff on mine and stuff after we got everything back here and all that and everything. But basically the inspection sticker had got tore off because the glass, when he T-boned me, of course, the windshield also shattered halfway and stuff. So we were going to repair it and try to get it, redone and stuff. but the sticker actually had pretty much come off. There wasn't much left after the wreck. And I never forget, me and my dad, we were going up here to Raytown. I was trying to get something else, another part for the vehicle. And a Raytown cop stopped us. It stopped me up there because of that. What happened to those days? Are those days gone? Now, I don't get that. I don't get why all these people are being allowed to do that. And it doesn't make sense. There's a gentleman at the top of the hill up here. It's in Independence. It's driving a truck. It's been driving it for over 2 years. It's got a price tag in the window. Has no license plate on it. And I've been out there several times on that thing to the courthouse and reported on it. And they supposedly can't ever get the guy. This guy ain't that fast. These other guys are faster. This guy ain't that fast. There's no reason, but this guy ain't paying taxes. So all the money, all the hundreds and thousands of dollars that I put out here on tags and on insurance and all that, this guy's walking. And how about all you people out there who do pay your taxes? Why should they get away with this? This is what gets to me on this stuff. And I mean, it's BS. It's not right. But talking about the crime and stuff, but the cars, transporting, big money be made. And big drugs also coming through on all that stuff. Definitely. So it's just something to be aware of, guys. Now, that's 7-Eleven up here. It's a main hub. It's a main hub for stuff going on. And and you don't think that some of these police don't know what's going on here. That's not the case. I'll show you something else here. Hold on just a second, guys. Okay, I'm back, guys. This was the night before last. And Independence was out and about. They were setting up here. But all the activity goes on around 7-Eleven. And hold on just a second. Now, Independence is sitting over there at this bank over here. Okay, there's two of them, actually. And if they're running tags, I mean, that's one thing. But, I mean, this is over, let's see, I would say maybe 4 or 5 blocks away. Now, I know that there's a lot of different police vehicles, from Jackson County Sheriff to Highway Patrol to Independence, that sits up here by where Southern Lumber. And they get them. I mean, they stop them down the street here. They get them and stuff. But there's not much activity that goes through here unless they're running stuff over to Walmart. Now, they might have been watching to see if they were, but there's so much activity that goes on through here. Now, hold on, guys, a second. Okay, I'm back. Now, this is after 2 days after I posted that other deal. So 7-Eleven's pretty quiet. And then Independence is setting up over on that other side. And boy, they are hooked into a network. I guarantee you, just like when I used to go down to Doc Holliday's, they knew where the police were sitting. They knew if they were shooting radar. They knew if they were had checkpoints for people drinking. They knew. But that ain't just here. Like I said, I used to go dancing over on the Kansas side. Same way. They knew. And everybody lets everybody else know. But what I'm going to show real quick, we're going to talk about something for a minute. Now, I talk about, you see where my cursor is over here? You see either a dumpster like off to the right way over here on this other side. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about this pump right here. You see this pump right here? Now, this is where they deal drugs. This is not hard at all. This is real simple. And these are bikers here. They'll either be in a pickup trucks or they'll be on motorcycles. And they'll sit here. Now, also right here, see where my cursor is right here? Or they'll pull their car over here and they'll act like they're working on it, or, the car's overheated or something. So this is something independents could do. They could look at this. They could be watching this one area right here. This would not be no big deal whatsoever. But these are bikers. This is a biker bunch here that's dealing through right here on that. That wouldn't be hard at all. I mean, and then mostly it's the same guys. One day I noticed because the guy who was on the motorcycle, he was in his pickup truck sitting here. So how hard is that, guys? Now this morning when I drove through here by Big Boys, there was nobody over here. Now I could show you that. I could say this is from 2 days back. But what's interesting, over here on this side was a truck sitting back behind, over here behind Big Boys. Now there's several employee vehicles. There's been a van that's there that I know that goes to Big Boys. But this truck was unusual. So if they get pushed out of 7-Eleven over here, then they go hide back behind, either by this building back behind where Big Boys is, or where that parking lot is over there. Not hard at all to spot, guys. Not hard at all. Now hold on. Okay, I'm back, guys. So what you're looking at is my street facing from a different angle this morning, because, like I say, that one guy that walked down the street just looked a little unusual. I mean, we always have new players, new people that come into play, but he's right about up here. Now, some of these people go down here to the meth recovery place, or that house right by the meth recovery place. So I'm sitting here. I want to see right where my cursor is, where the gentleman is right now. But he disappeared right up in this area, either right up by where that carpet place was, or he disappeared into the trailer court. Because I drive on around, because I want to see if, guess what, where this guy went. I want to see if because they still got people underneath that bridge up there. They're going underneath the railroad tracks, underneath that bridge. Well, they say, oh, well, we don't know what's going on. Yeah, go. I actually did, back when my son was in school, we even went down and took photos for his school about people that were homeless. Let's get out on foot patrol. Let's get moving. Let's get some of this stuff done, guys. I mean, this is crazy. Oh, but Kansas City last night had another vigil at a church trying to stop the... Well, you know what might stop the violence? Not doing all the drugs. This house on down here last weekend had 20 cars out in front down here. Big old party down here. Now, independents told me, police officer told me, he said, they can't park on the grass. They're not saying, we can do something about that. Well, I bet you they'll be back. And what kills me, somebody is coming from this bunch out down here is coming from Blue Springs. Because they have vehicles, they have work vehicles from Blue Springs that are sitting down there. So how is that possible? I mean, this isn't, it isn't rocket science here, guys. So, and I got to show another one. It probably wasn't anything, but we got to go back up by Gordman's over there. So hold on, guys. All right, here we go. We're going to pull in. There's a vehicle sitting over. And most of these places are vacant. I'm going to turn around. I just got to see. So we got a black gentleman standing over here by a pillar away from his... What is that? Let's see. What kind of car is that? I don't know. I mean, they're usually driving Lexuses or Audis and a little bit of everything, or Mercedes. They're always... But anyway, well, that don't look suspicious at all, does it? I mean, I'm sure it's probably nothing with that building all boarded up over there, and a black gentleman standing by a pillar. And what's that say? Somebody's written on the top of... Oh, that's nice. Scum. Oh, that's another good one for independents here. Well, independents, they can make the business owners clean that up because, they used to, independents, you know what they used to do? They used to make them tear the buildings down if they weren't going to be occupied. Now, I don't know how this would go, but most of this is all. There used to be a buffet up here. There used to be a whole bunch of other. There used to be Toys R Us, Babies R Us, and a whole bunch of other ones. I mean, oh, that just looks ducky. What are we going to be? We're going to be next. We're going to be out there like Bannister, where Bannister Mall was and stuff. Look at that. Now, hold on. Here's a vehicle. Let's see if I can get that to. Z standing back behind the pillar back there. On his phone, waiting. Well, now that looks legit, guys. I mean, that isn't cause, just to think, well, maybe that might want to be checked out a little bit. I don't know. But like I say, I mean, if I was a police officer, I'd drive through and I might just get out and say, what you doing? I mean, because that don't look, like I say, this is a troubled area. This is a very troubled area. Now, I think there is one workout place and stuff over there, but this guy ain't gonna be working out. He's over here. Look at this. This is paneled up, and he's standing behind a pillar. I don't know, but independents, like I say, I know that they're code. But I think they could make them look. Oh, we got some more gang stuff. What is that up there? Lust. What does that say? Lust and something else. Oh, isn't that pretty? No, not. But see, if you don't prevent this stuff and stop it before it gets out of hand, it'll just get more out of hand and get more out of hand. I don't know, guys. Anyway, like I say, we've had a homicide almost one every other day. And we're in what's today, the 23rd? Yeah, I think it's 23rd. Oh my. Not good, guys. Well, they don't care. I mean, they this guy, he was smiling. He thought it was funny. I'm above the law. Well, shit. Yeah, that's why they're driving all these new vehicles. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, keep your eyes open, guys, and stay safe out there.